Cine lovers!
Cine lovers!
Woo! Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone, to episode 5 of Cine Lovers. I'm Mercedes, and this is Jamie, my favourite Cine lover. We've got quite a few things to talk to you about today, actually. Lots of trailers, some Disney, some new offerings from Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I'm so excited. Some new films that we've been to see, like Black Widow, Space Jam. Some new things out on Netflix and Disney Plus, and all the films that are coming out in the next month that we want to mention as well. So let's start as ever with the news. The news.
Yes, it is the news.
So Jamie's going to start off, I think, with some update on the Emmy nominations.
Yes.
Tell us.
So the Emmy nominations came out this week for the awards that will be in September. So the 73rd Primetime Emmy Awards were announced, and the show with the most nominations was Ted Lasso with 13 nominations.
Nice.
Jason Sudeikis nominated for Best Actor. It was nominated for Best Comedy Show. 3 of the supporting actresses were nominated, I believe.
Oh, that's good.
And then 2 supporting actors as well. Or maybe it was 3 actors, 2 actresses, I want to say. 3 actors, 2 actresses, I believe, were nominated as well. So, I mean, you're looking at that. That's in a category of 5, you've got 3 from the same show in there. Good chance of winning. Good chance of winning. So it's nominated for 13 awards at the Primetime Emmy Awards. It didn't actually have the most nominations overall because the Primetime Emmy Awards are just mainly for the acting in the best show and stuff. Then you have the Creative Arts Emmys, which is more to do with your writing and your cinematography and your directing.
Nice.
And supporting actors in kind of more limited series and TV movies. And One Division had the most nominations overall across both.
Nice.
Yes, so
it's
that
so
is
good, though.
that. And I think Disney Plus had 71
That's
nominations
insane.
over both.
Oh
so,
my god.
Yeah,
that's
it's absolutely crazy how that's happened. So it's very, very good. So
what about all the drama stuff? Like, is your favourite show up once again for nomination?
Yes, I mean, it wasn't there last year, unfortunately, but it is back this year. So the outstanding drama series, we've got Bridgerton and The Crown, obviously. For Netflix, you've got Handmaid's Tale, Lovecraft Country, The Mandalorian, Pose, and of course This Is Us, which I absolutely love. But The Boys also got nominated.
The Boys,
Amazon
the
TV
drama.
show. Outstanding drama series,
It
The
can be
Boys.
pretty dramatic.
So that's very, very exciting.
It's really exciting.
And then you go over to the outstanding comedy series. You've got Blackish, Emily in Paris, The Flight Attendant, Hacks, The Kaminsky Method, Penis or Pen 15, not sure which one that is. I mean, it's got like PEN and then 15, so it's either Pen 15 or Penis. So
sounds
it's
like
one
an
of them.
Interesting show.
Yeah, and then you've got Ted Lasso and Cobra Kai.
What?
Cobra Kai is nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series. Let out the biggest cheer
Cobra
when
Kai,
they announced
Cobra
it.
Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai. Yes,
Yes.
go Cobras.
Cobra Kai is nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series. It got 4 nominations over the whole of the Emmys. Yes, it is nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series. Unfortunately, no acting nominations.
What?
But it is nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series. So congratulations.
Congratulations,
It's
guys.
absolutely great.
Totally.
So happy with that. I think Ted Lasso with the most nominations. It won a lot of the Golden Globes. I think Ted Lasso is the favourite to win most of it. Jason Sudeikis won the Golden Globe. It won Best Comedy Series. And season 2 starts on Apple TV this Friday. So there you go. The awards will be in September.
Nice.
So you can watch.
That Ted Lasso show. Well, if you've not seen it, and it sounds like it's going to be good because it's been nominated though. So series 2's coming out soon. Maybe you should check it out.
Yeah. Ted Lasso is just basically a TV show about an if ever you ever remember these weird TV adverts of Jason Sudeikis, this American football coach who's talking about joining the English Premier League. There were these weird NBC adverts back in 2011 and 12, and they've actually made that into a TV show now. So Ted Lasso is this American football coach who gets signed to become the manager of a English Premier League football team.
That sounds cool.
And that's what it's about. And it's just kind of him bringing his beliefs and everything whilst everything that's happening around. I'm not going to spoil it too much because you need to watch it. It's amazing. There's only 10 episodes, about 30 minutes each episode. Easily get through it. And on Apple TV, season 2 will be released weekly. So you still got time to catch up before the series finale in 10 weeks' time for series 2. So you will watch it.
Okay. Yeah.
Ted Lasso is out this Friday, series 2.
Didn't I hear that like my favourite female director's nominated for something as well?
Yes, that is correct. Emerald Fennell is nominated for Best Supporting Actress for The Crown, playing Camilla Parker Bowles. So obviously she did win Best Director. Did she win? No, Best Original
Screenplay, I believe. Yeah, at the Oscars,
it was Best Original Screenplay. She won the Promising Young Woman Screenplay.
Yep.
She won for that. So very, very good. And she also wrote.
Yeah, didn't she? She wrote Cinderella, the new Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yes, so she's had a pretty good year. So yeah, the Cinderella musical is very, very good. That's currently showing on the West End now. I say now, it's just recently closed because of COVID. So they're going to be closed for about a week or so whilst they go through COVID protocol. But she also wrote that. So she had a good year. She could win She could win
an Emmy and an
Oscar in the same year. So,
it's been done. People do it.
Yeah, so that is basically it for the Primetime Emmy Awards. They will be on September 19th for the Primetime Emmy Awards and the day before for the Creative Arts Emmys. So tune in, watch some TV shows, and go Cobra Kai. Go
Cobra Kai, that's for sure. So the only other news that I have currently, I feel like I talk about Aquaman every time we do the news, but there's always some more news. I've just heard that they are filming in the UK now, so that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. Jason Momoa is here, guys, ladies and guys. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know where he might be. You bought Guinness for him once, didn't you? Tell everyone about that. That's a cool thing to tell everyone.
I bought Guinness for Jason Momoa.
So we go to Comic-Con loads, and one year Jamie volunteered at Comic-Con for a whole day on the Friday, and basically he was the celeb's bitch, really. He was the dog buddy. So basically they got assigned tasks to go and do things that they needed done. One of the things that he had to do was go and buy Guinness for Jason Momoa, which is pretty cool.
And get breakfast
for William Shatner.
Yeah.
Which is very, very cool also. So, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. Anyway, moving on from that, the next section obviously is trailers. And we have got lots of trailers to talk to you about. 5, in fact. We only had 4, and then we just saw a new one. And it's the one I've been most anticipated for. I'm so excited. So we'll talk about that last. But to start off, we will talk about the next new Marvel TV show that's coming out. Slightly different from WandaVision and Loki and Falcon Winter Soldier, as it is animated, and that is What If. Jamie, you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yes, so as you said, it's an animated TV show, which is based in the MCU, and it's basically asking you the question, what if? Like, what if Captain America didn't become Captain America and, say, Peggy Carter took the...
Did I hear you say Captain Carter?
Yes, Captain Carter, as you can see in the picture just there. Wrong side, there you go. And it's basically asking that question. Well, what if, say, I can't think of another one. T'Challa. He got picked up instead of Quinn for Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was there with Michael Rooker's character. As well, they had the whole thing with the whistling of the and it just basically, it's a fun and interesting kind of something new as well. It's basically this guy called the Timekeeper, and Doctor Strange is the main protagonist, and he's going through all this kind of thing like, well, what if? And they're talking about like maybe this wife thing, but everything that's happened with WandaVision, Loki, and the future of the MCU, they're all talking about these alternate timelines and stuff. So I think What If for me is probably going to be all these different timelines, but more in an animated form. Just so you can see all these different characters in these different worlds, like what if this happened, what if that happened, and it's all going to be these different timelines coming together, which is going to create the multiverse of madness, I believe, and which is why it makes sense for it to come out now as well, in the middle after Loki's finished. You've had WandaVision, you've got Spider-Man at the end of the year, and then, like I said, you've got Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madness and stuff. So, yeah, and we got a big cameo from my boy Howard. Howard the Duck is in it, excitingly. Can't wait. I know he's probably only going to be in it for like 10 seconds, but Howard the Duck was in the trailer, and I'm very excited for that.
You're very excited. You just sound like Moss from the Air TV.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think it looks really fun. It's just a way to keep the fun going for all the Marvel fans, and a way for the actors to stay involved and keep connected to their characters as well. And I actually saw Sebastian Stan put on Instagram some footage of him like doing his recording, and it was really funny. He's just there trying to figure out how to do it and what they want from him for the emotion in that moment. It doesn't seem like he's ever done it before. He's just learning how to do it. It was really cute. So you should go and check out Sebastian Stan's Instagram for that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing the different kind of things that could happen. There's a moment in the trailer when Iron Man is approached by, I can't remember who it is now, but I know it's one of the bad guys, and it's just at the beginning of Iron Man, when like the bomb's gone off and someone approaches him, and that just indicates that that's going to take him down a completely different path. So that I'm interested to see as well. So yeah,
and like I said, with Sebastian Stan doing the voice for it as well, all of the actors are reprising their role in animated form as well. So you do have Chadwick Boseman playing T'Challa as well, which is
that's his last ever actually acting performance. So
so very exciting time. That is August 11th,
something like that. Yeah,
it's out in August. You can see that on here, and that will be exclusively on Disney Plus.
Cool. I'm excited about that.
But I mean, just more Disney to come in.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. Our next two trailers are more Disney, but this is like proper Disney now. So I feel like every time we do this, I'm introducing a new Disney film, and we are becoming a bit saturated with them at the moment. And I think I would be a lot more excited about these two films if we didn't have so many opening out at once. We just had Raya not long ago, and then Luca's just come out. I was just talking about that the other week, but now we've got two more being advertised at the same time. So I'm going to try and look at them as though, we don't know that there's loads of others coming out at the same time. So to start with, we'll look at Encanto. So this actually looks really fun and bright and colourful. It looks beautiful, and seems like from the trailer it's about this family, extended family, all live in this beautiful big magical house in some magical place. It looks like around somewhere like South America, but yeah, it looks really fun. They've all seem to have special gifts, all of them apart from our lead character, who doesn't have any gifts, and she's kind of like, everyone like mentions it and laughs about it, but she obviously is bothered by it, even though she pretends she isn't. So I presume the film is going to be about finding her gift or what's special about her, which is obviously another great metaphor for kids. So yeah, I am, and the main character as well looks pretty cool. She looks like someone I would have been friends with in like sixth form my uni, so she looks nice. So yeah, I am excited about it. But yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, like you saw some of the abilities on there.
Yeah.
So you had people with super strength, some shapeshifters on there, people growing like flowers and stuff as well. So It's very colourful. You forgot to mention who's the music by.
Oh my goodness, yeah, right. So when I first watched the trailer, I was like, okay, yeah, it was quite nice. And then suddenly the music starts to come in, and as you hear it, I was like, I know who that is. And then his name came across the screen. Music by Lin-Manuel Miranda, original music. Oh, so yeah, I'm so excited for that because, as we all know from In the Heights, I just love him now. So yeah, I was listening to the soundtrack again this morning. It's such a great way to start your morning, listening to the In the Heights soundtrack. So yeah, it's another great reason to be excited about Encanto, really. So yeah.
I mean, that wasn't it for Disney, though. What was the other one?
No, yeah. So the next Disney film that's coming out, it's been advertised, is Turning Red. Now, this, it's watching the trailer for me is a little bit cringy as an adult woman who knows, well, for any adult, I think, who knows what the whole metaphor for all of this film is. I don't think it's as straightforward as what you said.
It's called Turning Red.
Yes, but it's not. I don't think it's just about periods, which is what you said.
Right, it's about puberty.
Periods. It's about, as the trailer says, growing up is a beast. It's about just the whole. It's about in the emotions of it. It's not
puberty,
just
hormones,
everything, but not just in that way. In all the emotions, the anger, the anxiety. So this trailer, it basically shows you one opening scene, and it's about this girl who, when her emotions get to a certain height, she turns into a red panda, as we can see from the poster there, which is a bit weird because red pandas are quite sweet, although they do have very sharp teeth. So I suppose if they wanted to defend themselves, they probably could be quite aggressive. But yeah, it looks like I can't tell if it's set somewhere in Asia like China, or if it's actually set in an American place with
an oriental
like
a backdrop.
Yeah, like Chinatown as well. So I'm not too sure. I need to watch the trailer again for that. But yeah, the opening in the trailer, it's her anxiety is building, because her mum's kind of turned up at school, and it's embarrassing her, and she just explodes and turns into this red panda. Which, yeah, it is quite on the nose. But yeah, it does look fun, and I think it will be really good for young girls, or anyone young. Because it does seem to be about puberty and going through that really difficult time, feeling so strongly in so many different ways about so many different things, and just not knowing what to do about it, and having these massive reactions to things, and then suddenly coming back in and going, oh, I didn't mean to react like that so largely, and learning about yourself. So yeah, it'll be a good one for preteens, I think, and young teens to see, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And the next trailer I want to talk about, which I'm quite excited for, mainly just for the cast.
Yeah, the cast is good.
So you've got Kristen Bell, Vince Vaughn, and of course my boy
Paul Walter.
Exactly. So it's called Queenpins, and it is based on a true story of these people that have found a way to get loads of vouchers for free. Coupons, if you call them in America, the vouchers here.
Yeah, but
for coupons in the US, yeah. And then selling them to people and making money, because coupons, they found out that if you, in the trailer, they're saying if you complain to someone, they send you a free coupon, then you can use it. And then Kristen Bell's character finds out all these coupons are sent from the same place. So I assume, I don't think you actually see, but they find a way to obviously hijack the truck or
suggest that they steal the
coupons from this place and then sell them to people that need them. It's kind of like a modern day Robin Hood.
Yeah.
But it's based off a true story. This actually did happen. And Vince Vaughn and Paul Walter are kind of more cops in it. I say the cops are not really cops, but they are trying to track down Kristen Bell and her partner to figure out, obviously, how they're doing it and what's going on as well. Small cameo in the trailer as well. Joel McHale playing Kristen Bell's husband as well. Obviously famous for Community and The Soup and the Joel McHale Show, starring Joel McHale on Netflix. Queenpins, excited for it. It looks fun. It's kind of more like a comedy kind of.
Yeah, comedy caper.
Yeah, so looking forward to Queenpins.
It does look fun. When the trailer first started, I thought it was that it was just because there's a lot of documentaries about women in America who basically live off couponing. They buy hundreds of magazines with these free coupons in. It actually ends up saving them more money than spending the money on the magazines. And I thought it was just a story of couponing. But then as the trailer goes on, like Jamie says, they actually stealing these coupons. And again, I thought it was going to be so that they can then use them and save money on their grocery shop. And then they say they're going to sell them to people, and I'm like, Jeez. Like, that's kind of like harsh on the people that need them a little bit. Because, you know, they're still spending money on coupons.
Well, they're selling to people that need them.
Yeah, but they're spending money on the coupons, so how much is that costing them?
But
hey, it does look good. The cast is amazing. Obviously, we talked about Paul Walter in one of our first podcasts about how amazing he is. So, again, he's reason enough to want to check this thing out. So, yeah, look out for it. Queenpins.
Alright, okay. So we're going to brace ourselves.
What, for me, for my reaction?
So
we should have filmed my reaction to this trailer, by the way.
So before going live, we thought we'll quickly rewatch some of the trailers just to make sure it's okay. And it comes up, posted 3 hours ago. It is the new Ridley Scott movie starring Jodie Comer, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Adam Driver. It is the last Duel. One of these films, I think, like going into.
Hey!
I'm just quickly going in to say,
go on.
With the greatest movie ever draft, I do have this on my shortlist.
Yes.
And it's definitely on paper gonna be massive. Like you've got Ridley Scott, like you said, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Adam Driver. Jodie Comer's getting very big now, especially she's moving over to films after doing so successful in Killing Eve. And it just looks like it's going to be pretty good.
So when you first told me about this many months ago, did you tell me about it? Or Destiny? You told me about it, yeah. You were like, Sadie, there's Matt and Ben are doing a film together again. And Adam Driver's in it. Like, 3 people I absolutely adore. Ben and Matt are like my favourite people in the whole world. Apart from, my parents and this one. But oh my god, I absolutely adore Matt and Ben. And Dogma, is obviously one of my faves. And all the early stuff, obviously Good Will Hunting. Oh, it's amazing. So when I heard that they were coming back together, I was so excited. And obviously, I just love Adam Driver because even though I'm not a massive fan of the newer Star Wars films, I think he's great at Kylo Ren, and it's pretty hot in a weird way. So I'm so super excited to see the 3 of them together. I mean, geez, it's just a bit too much, isn't it? So like you mentioned it ages ago, it feels like absolutely forever ago, and then there was like nothing. And then one day I had one of my film magazines, I can't remember if it was Empire or Total Film, and right in like little corner, one of the little mini segments, I just saw one of the little faces, and it said The Last Duel. I was like, oh, and there was like a tiny wee little passage about it, and I was like, I just absorbed every little sentence, every little word that was in that little passage, in so much excitement. Anyway, now we have a trailer.
The trailer is out.
The trailer is out, and I mean, even though I love them, when you told me, I was like, sounds a bit cheesy, because you said it's medieval, and I was like, I cannot imagine Ben and Matt doing that. It would be hilarious.
So the weird thing, as you can see on here, you've got Ben Affleck with blonde bleached hair.
I was gonna say, that's the first thing. I was like, well, Matt appeared. Did Matt appear first? No, I think maybe I don't know. Matt and Adam appeared first anyway. I was like, right, where is he? And then suddenly you heard his voice, and then he appeared, and I was like, oh my god, look at him. Now, I mean, there are plenty of people out there that aren't fans of Ben, and there'll be plenty of people that will be waiting to like be like, well, that's cheesy. As I've already said, as a fan, that they're going to be medieval. But then he goes and has that haircut. I mean, geez. But it does say on the trailer, it's a true story. So
true story.
So they kind of gotta, look the part. So yeah, I can't remember exactly what the story is. You actually might remember better than me. And I know we've just watched the trailer, so I should have got the story from the trailer.
So basically, Jodie Comer's character is married to Matt Damon.
That's the one.
And something happens between Jodie Comer and Adam Driver.
Yes.
It's he said, she said, in regards to some kind of sexual relation going on, whether it is classed as sexual assault or she consented, basically.
From what we saw from the trailer, it looked like Adam Driver was taking the lead on that.
Yeah, but Adam Driver denies even being there.
Yeah.
And so what Matt Damon suggests would be, we will fight to the death, and let the gods decide who was telling the truth.
The gods
basically
decide.
Because it's Jodie Comer's word, which is Matt Damon's wife, against Adam Driver's word. So he's like,
probably somebody quite notable, but I wasn't paying attention to who was. I was just too excited.
Pardon?
I was too excited.
About
all of it. So I wasn't paying attention to what the story was or who the people were.
Yeah, like I said, he said, let the gods decide, because of obviously one of you's telling the truth, so God will decide, and whoever God lets win will win. Basically, that's what Matt Damon says.
Yes. I don't know really what Ben's part in it always, but
I think he's the king.
Oh, is he? He does look royal.
Yeah, yes. So I think he's the one telling Ben Affleck he wants to fight to the death for it, and he allows it.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, they fight to the death. And you see a bit of medieval jousting in the trailer. You got
I missed that. I love a bit of jousting.
You're just getting too excited. I think you may have blacked out.
I love medieval stuff as well. Yeah, I love a castle. I just love a castle. We used to have here in the UK, in the north, we used to have an amazing theme park called Camelot, obviously, King Arthur and all that jazz. And they used to have jousting, actual jousting. I mean, not for reals, like no one died.
Not for reals.
But like pretend jousting on real horses, and they had Lancelot and Galahad and Sir Percival, and it was just the best time. And then it closed, and it sits there. You see it from the motorway. It sits there like a graveyard.
I will remember you.
Yeah, like a roller coaster graveyard. So shame on you, owners of Camelot.
Shame.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah. So super excited for this film. Go watch the trailer and be nice to my boys. I love them.
So that is the section of the trailers.
The trailers.
Yes. So I mean, basically brings us on to movie review. So some of the films that we have watched and TV show, of course. I mean, shall we start with the TV show then? Maybe?
Oh, we can if you want. Yeah, sure.
So
we can then lead into one of the first ones.
Yeah. So the TV show Loki finished its 6-episode run on Disney Plus. The finale was on the Wednesday just gone.
Last week,
6 days ago at the time of recording. So yeah, I mean, you really enjoyed it, the series?
Putting words in my mouth?
Maybe. Did you enjoy it?
Are
you putting words in my mouth?
So, do you want to talk about what you felt about it first? Because I don't want to be like,
It's alright.
Yeah, I agree. It's alright. I love WandaVision. I really enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier because of the relationship, and I didn't really like the bad guys in that, and the woman in that, the lead, she annoyed me. But I love their relationship and their banter, and that made it. Loki, I was really excited about, and I was really excited about Owen Wilson being in it.
Wow. Didn't even say it once.
He did not say it. And I thought maybe that was going to be fun banter, and there was bits of it. It was, I don't know, I didn't, this is going to sound weird, but like, it was like, I didn't really enjoy like the British actresses very much. I don't know, it was a bit restricted, it was a bit too sort of semi-serious, and I really enjoyed the colour. I really enjoyed the greeny, browny, goldy, the colour palette.
The colours of Loki.
The colour palette, yeah, it was beautiful in that respect. I really liked the whole, retro feel of everything. That was really cool. I think I would have liked more Owen Wilson. I do think the whole two Lokis getting it on thing is a bit weird. What kind of paradox is that going to cause? Yeah, and then for me, the episodes that he was excited about, Tom Hiddleston, I was like, oh, was that it? And like when he went to the end of time, and there was those other Lokis. I mean, Richard D. Grant's amazing. Like, I love Richard D. Grant. He was great. But like, I don't know, it was just a bit weird, and I wasn't a massive fan. I like what it's now going to do for the MCU in the future. That's what I'm excited to see. But I can live without a second series. I'm whatever.
Well, they did announce Loki has got a second season during the mid-credit scene of the series. So Loki will be returning for season 2. Like you did say, the good thing about what Loki did was set up the future of the MCU, basically. So without spoiling too much, it does set up the multiverse to a degree.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you can definitely see where the future of the MCU is going because of the finale of this show and how it's setting up all these different shows.
Which I sort of can't even really remember a lot of it.
There you go. So it's memorable, of course. There you go.
Totally watch it, like.
But yeah, if you're a big MCU fan, it's something that you do need to watch to understand what's going on, like how this character of Loki has come from Avengers Assemble, because it is the version of Loki.
Yeah.
The villain Loki, not how he ended up in Avengers Endgame to become this hero. He is still kind of the villain from Avengers Assemble, and it's all about him changing into kind of being the anti-hero as he is Loki.
He never made it to Endgame, babe. He died in
Infinity War. So so it's basically setting up the future of the MCU. It is important if you are wanting to watch all of these Marvel movies. So Loki, 6 episodes on Disney Plus.
I'd still rather just rewatch My Ducks Game Changers. Get me the next series of that.
Still not been announced yet.
It will be. Yeah, sticking with Marvel. Now moving on to our films that we've watched recently. We finally got Black Widow! Woo! After over a year of waiting for her. Oh, so good to have her back. So nice to revisit the character. I really, really enjoyed it. All the cast were great, but as I know Jamie was definitely going to say, and I feel the same, and my friend even said exactly the same before I even said it, Florence Pugh stole the show. She shone and was amazing. I love Scarlett. Scarlett was still amazing, but I'm really excited about the future career of Florence. But yeah, the film was really, really good. I would actually like to see those characters more. A lot, yeah.
Well, some of them, unfortunately.
Well, yeah. For everybody.
Yeah, but like I said, Florence Pugh was the best part about that film. I think if she wasn't in it, the film would just fail. I think like she is.
Yeah, I agree.
She's the heart of the film. She's the best part of the film. And one of the important things to note as well during the production of Black Widow, they were saying that, especially building up to it, that Robert Downey Jr. was going to make a cameo as Tony Stark. And there was also mention that maybe Captain America would also be in it as well. But what they wanted to do was have Black Widow have her moment, have her film, a standalone away from the boys, have this movie, because she deserves it. Definitely. I said she's an original Avenger. Everybody else has had their own film. You've got Hulk, you've got Thor, you have Iron Man, you have Captain America, and then you got Hawkeye with his own TV show in December.
Yeah.
So everybody has had their own series or film. Yeah. So and I say Hawkeye is probably the lesser known superhero out of all of them. So but the Black Widow movie has set up again the future of the MCU and the post-credit scene, which will link into other Disney products, including Hawkeye. So it's exciting to see. Like I said, Florence Pugh, hopefully we'll see more of in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the future, and I welcome it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we were supposed to have Black Widow, like I said, over a year ago, and so that post-credit scene we were supposed to see before we saw things in the TV shows that we've had. So, but it still links nicely, and it doesn't really matter that we've seen it the other way around. But yeah, no, it was really cool to go back into her world, into Natasha's world, and see everything that she's been talking about for all these years you know, where she's come from and everything, and seeing the Red Room, and just actually hearing, like, from Florence Pugh's character, just what that really meant, and you know, what those women, those girls, you know, were going through, and how they were brainwashed, and all those strange kind of things. And the weird thing is, like, stuff like that sort of does happen out there in the world, and it is quite scary. It really does bring that to light as well. But yeah, it was really cool. The action was great. The costumes were great. David Harbour was hilarious. Rachel Weisz was great. The opening, actually, yeah, I remember when we watched it, I was like, that's what I want to talk about. The opening was the best bit of the whole film. And it made me probably more excited than I then was for the rest of the film. The opening was incredible. So yeah, enjoy that, because when you go and see that, if you've not seen it yet, it's amazing. It's such a ride. And the very, very first, like, opening scene, you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought her background was. And then you suddenly realize that maybe you were right. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, it's basically, it starts when she's a child, and we go from there. So, but yeah, amazing opening scene. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think overall I didn't enjoy it as much as you did.
No.
I think it was an okay film, probably 6 out of 10. Without Florence, probably 4.
Yeah.
Florence Pugh was the saviour of that film. Ray Winstone was
Ray Winston, yeah. He was okay, but I thought they could have had someone better as the bad guy.
I know, like you were saying, his Cockney accent was just going through.
It just kept coming out, and I was just like, I like Ray, you know, but he belongs. Yeah, he's a good actor, but he belongs in a certain.
But he's a Cockney guy.
Place. He's a Cockney actor, and to play like a Russian, you know, there's probably so many great actors that are probably naturally from that area of the world that could have done that, you know, or somewhere else. That, I don't know. I think there could have been better people for that role.
And just so people are aware as well, is this film takes place in between Captain America Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War. No, Avengers Age of Ultron.
Is it not after
Avengers Age of Ultron and Captain America Civil War? It takes place in, because they're talking about Tony Stark versus Captain America and them signing the agreement and stuff. And basically, at the end of the film, kind of leads into where Natasha's been, and then comes into Civil War. So it takes place between Avengers Age of Ultron, and Captain America Civil War.
Yeah. But yeah, one other thing I noted was, you know, we were sat in the cinema for the new big Marvel film, and it was like not even half full, and obviously most of that's for COVID, but I still thought, you know, maybe more people. We went on like opening weekend, like the Friday, and I just expected it to be busier, you know, because everyone used to get excited about the big Marvel film, but I think people are starting to forget about the cinema because I've been able to get everything at home. And I think people will have been downloading it on the Disney Plus thing. And watching it at home.
Yeah, so it was available on Disney Plus with their Premier access. It came out in the cinemas on the Wednesday, but wasn't available until the Friday on Disney Plus Premier, and it was released in the US of A on that Friday as well, as we got it 2 days early. And we saw it on the Thursday.
Yes,
the day after. So maybe more people went on the Wednesday.
Maybe people went on Friday.
And some people maybe went on Friday or watched it on Friday on Disney Plus on the Premier access. So again, it's another Marvel film. We've got about another 17 to come before the end of the year. So we'll see what happens with the future of the MCU. But we can now move away from Marvel.
And Disney.
I mean, we've got one more thing to talk about Disney-wise later on. But just briefly, hopefully. But we'll talk about other films that we saw. So you decided to just randomly go by yourself to the cinema the other day.
I'd like to do that now and again. I did that before.
I like it as well. But it was a film that you were quite excited to see, especially because of the cinematography and where it is and the setting. Actors. So tell us about Supernova.
Yes, I took myself off to see Supernova. I was really disappointed at first. The other week when it first came out, they did a special limitless viewing at Odeon, and then I went on the app to look at when it was going to be on properly again, and it just wasn't there. And I spoke to our friend who works at Odin, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know if it's going to come back on." I was gutted because I was really looking forward to seeing it, and then suddenly it appeared again last week. So I thought, well, I might not get another chance. It might not be on again, so I'm going to go and see it. So yeah, I went on my own. Supernova is about a couple played by Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci, and Stanley Tucci's character has dementia, and it's about a little weekend away that they're having before his condition starts to get any worse, and it's all set like in the Lake District, I believe, from what it looks like. When I first saw the trailer, for some reason I thought it was Scotland. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast. But actually, when I sat there watching the film, I was like, "That's not Scotland. That's definitely the Lake District." So yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. They're there in their camper van. They've got a little dog, little labradoodle type thing, and it's just them kind of talking about how they feel about it. Colin Firth's character kind of wants to talk about it a bit more, because obviously he's the one trying to learn, what to do to support Stanley's character and how he's going to deal with it. But Stanley doesn't really want to, think about it too much. And they go visit Colin's family in the lakes, and they have a party with lots of their old friends, and it really shows the way that people, sometimes don't know how to approach someone who is suffering with a condition, and they think they have to talk about it or try and offer help or suggestions, and that person's just like, I just want to live my life while I can and just carry on being me. But yeah, it does take a turn in the way of the choice of that we do not have in this country, of when you're suffering with a terminal condition like that is going to be a debilitating condition, of the choice to decide when your life is over yourself and end your own life, or well, yeah. So obviously in Europe, in certain places in Europe, you can go and you can actually, be euthanized, as obviously when we say when we're putting animals to sleep, but you can make that choice to go to a special place, special hospitals where they will put you to sleep. They will kill you, with the injection. And obviously it's the discussion of, doing that here in this country, and the decision that Stanley Tucci's character would like to make, and Colin Firth's character dealing with that. But yeah, it is beautiful. It's obviously very serious, and a difficult subject, but I think it's also really important because Alzheimer's and dementia is, quite common, and a lot of people suffer with it, both patients and families. So it's definitely a topic that needs to be discussed more. But also, as serious as the film is, it's also got those nice comedy moments, because Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci are both amazing actors and both very, very funny as well. So yeah, it's a good film to just stick on, if you are a fan of two amazing actors and watching their work. But yeah, it definitely brings up some interesting topics. But yeah, I recommend it for sure. Supernova.
Cool. You go from two great actors.
Yeah.
Colin Firth,
absolute massive caliber,
and Stanley Tucci, to the, I want to say it's broke box office records and is one of the highest grossing movies of the year so far.
Are you serious?
And it is LeBron James in Space Jam: A New Legacy. I don't know why you're shaking your head. We went to see this movie on release day next Friday.
That's Friday.
Yeah. And Mercedes is like, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be great. And I'm like, no, it's going to be awful. It's LeBron James for one.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to be good at all. And you're like, no, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great.
I was so excited. And we went with our friend who's the massive Space Jam super fan.
Yeah. So obviously, I wore this jersey. Mercedes wore that jersey.
Aaron was wearing
his Space Jam jumper, which you absolutely love.
Oh, I love it. Where did you get it from? Pull and Bear, if you like sponsors, in the Travel Centre. So yeah, Space Jam.
So let's start with the negatives. You came in so excited, and then
Yeah. Well, no. The main thing I knew already from the trailer, and that is that they changed the way that the Looney Tunes world existed. So obviously in the original Space Jam, one of the most amazing childhood films, the Looney Tunes world was kind of like underneath our world. Bugs Bunny came up to get Michael Jordan through his rabbit tunnel, rabbit warren, up into the golf course. He came especially to get Michael Jordan.
It is alive.
Yeah, thank you, Bill Murray. And that was because the aliens had come and challenged them to a basketball game because they wanted to steal Toon World or something. I can't remember the story. But yeah, so they went to get Michael Jordan, pulled him down through the rabbit hole, and that was how the Toon World existed. And then even from the trailer, for this new film that it's not like that. It's actually within technology, and it is within the actual animation world in computers, and they get dragged into a computer. And I love Don Cheadle, and I love it when he gets a big role. But this character, it's the worst. My favorite role for him anyway is in not Deep Impact, Volcano. A lot of film.
Same film.
Not same film at all. Yeah, he's played like an algorithm, and it's you actually given a human form to this algorithm, and he's just algorithm, and he's just there talking about how he wants to dominate the world, and it's just a bit weird, and I'm not a fan, and I didn't enjoy the concept, and yeah, I just the bits for me that I really enjoyed were. So they went around all
the Waterverse.
They call it something slightly different, but yeah, the Warner Brothers Serververse, they called it. Yeah, all within the internet of Warner Brothers at Warner Brothers Studios. And the bit I really thought was funny, I couldn't stop laughing, was they went to DC World, and they'd turn into what they would turn into there, and they were finding the various Looney Tunes characters on the way, and that bit was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. I laughed a lot. There were a couple of little other bits that I laughed at throughout the film, but on the whole, what annoys me is that people are going to go and see this, younger people who have never seen Space Jam, like Aaron's girlfriend who came with us had never seen Space Jam, and that is their first introduction to Space Jam. And some younger kids might actually go, oh, this is great, I really love this, because that's the world they've grown up in, that technology world, and they're not going to appreciate the amazingness and the much betterness, which isn't a word, of the original Space Jam, and having Bill Murray as well, and our good old friend, whose name has Wayne Knight from Jurassic Park. And I enjoyed Michael Jordan in that film. I thought he was fun, So I find it weird in these films anyway, how these are real life people playing themselves, yet they're given a fake family that isn't actually theirs in real life.
Yeah, it's
strange.
I'm not saying LeBron James can act, but the family probably didn't want to be in it or can't act anyway. So
no, I know, but are they even giving them is he?
But obviously his son was a main character though, so it needs to be an actor because there's a lot of stuff going on. It could be.
I know, but it's still a strange concept, is all I'm saying.
No, yeah.
It's very odd. But yeah, what do you think?
It's better than the first.
No, man, wrong.
Yes. So again, I knew it wasn't going to be the greatest film. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of the film. It's fun. There were bits that were just laughable, which is just LeBron James trying to act, or some of his lines that were just forced out, which didn't make any sense or not delivered in the correct way because he's not a trained actor. He's a basketballer. He's a very good basketballer. Some would say the greatest of all time. And yeah, it's his son gets sucked into the servers, which you can see in the trailer. He then goes after him, and Don Cheadle's character, Algie Rhythm, basically says, you play me in a basketball game, you can have your son back. If not, you stay here with me. And then he gets sent down to Looney Tune Land, and it's just Bugs Bunny there. And he's like, we need to play basketball. And he kind of makes a little joke, Bugs Bunny, to say oh, you want me, Bugs Bunny? and the Looney Tunes to play with an all-pro basketballer. Whether heard this before?
Yeah.
And there's little slight nods towards Space Jam and
Very slight, yeah.
the legacy of obviously the 1996 movie. I mean, 25 years old now, shall we just say?
Don't spoil the cameo, but there is a hilariously brilliant
There
cameo
is
later
some
on.
cameos from Space Jam, which obviously I won't spoil. But yes, there are some small cameos from that, and there is a lot of cameos from the Warner Brothers universe.
Yeah.
There are some bits because what LeBron wants to do is get amazing basketballers to join his team, whereas Bugs Bunny wants to reunite the Looney Tunes to play for LeBron James. So they have to hunt over the serververse to find all of their friends, and they go to different worlds. Like you've got Game of Thrones, you've got the Matrix.
And Granny in the Matrix.
Yeah, and like I said, you've got the DC world as well, which you got little cameos from Superman as well in there. You've got the whole Superman theme.
Oh, that got me excited, yeah.
Yeah, so there is a lot of great cameos from the Warner verse in there as well. Some very unexpected ones I don't want to ruin as well, which just came out of nowhere, which were great, especially if you watch certain TV shows as well, on films. So I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it wasn't the best film ever, but it was fun.
I just want to mention as well, like they sort of stole the Hook storyline, because like you say, they pitted son against father, and basically how in Hook, Dustin Hoffman's Hook is like taking Peter Pan's son under his wing and making him his own. It's basically exactly what happens with this with Don Cheadle and LeBron James's son, and he tries to like take him from him, convince him that he's with him instead of him. Yeah.
But no, it's fun. It's available in the cinemas now. If you live in the US of A, it is in the cinemas and also on HBO Max as well, so you can watch it, stream it on there as well. It's a bit of fun, not to be taken seriously. I know it's not supposed to be taken seriously, and yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely worth watching for a bit of fun. But yeah.
So I think that's it really.
That's it for reviews.
Everything that we have recently watched. I know there is some stuff that has recently come out on Netflix, which we're kind of working our way through on Netflix and Disney Plus. So
what we're up to with them so far.
Exactly. So if we start with Netflix, they have just released a new horror trilogy.
So cool.
Which is R.L. Stein's Fear Street, which is kind of like a Goosebumps thing. I think it's based off the book Fear Street. And it's a trilogy set in different points of time. So you've got Fear Street 1994.
Part 1.
Which is part 1. Part 2 is 1974.
74 goes back.
And then part 3 is 1666, sorry.
1666.
I knew it was 1666, but there you go. So there are the 3 movies. They were released each week on Netflix, so they are all available now on Netflix. We've only watched part 1 so far.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time we record the next episode, we will have watched all 3, and we can talk about it in our reviews next time. But from episode 1, we're not going to go into too much, but we really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next 2 parts, so we will watch it and we'll review it on the next episode.
Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Main character I'm not so keen on, but I like, obviously they're trying to do bits of things from other great horror films. So there's a bit of Scream in there. Also, Maya Hawke is in it as well for some of the film. Obviously, Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter, who found fame through Stranger Things. At the Scoops Ahoy with Steve Harrington. So she's cool. And also in the next one, part 2, the one set in the 70s, I'm excited because again, I can't remember her name, but the girl who plays Max in Stranger Things, she is one of the leads in part 2, so I'm excited to see her. But yeah, it's a really cool story so far. I'm excited to see where it goes, so I'll let you know.
And also now streaming on Disney Plus, they have released the first 3 episodes and then releasing every week. It is a continuation from Monsters Inc. and it is Monsters at Work.
Yeah.
So all the cast are back, like Billy Crystal is back and John Goodman are back playing Mike Wazowski and Sully respectfully, and it basically takes off straight after Monsters Inc. is finished, the film, and it's basically how they are turning this more into a laugh factory rather than a scare factory. And the premise of the show starts off with Ben Feldman's character, famous for
Superstar.
Yes,
Jonah.
Jonah in Superstore, and he's basically just been offered a job as a scarer at Monsters Incorporated.
Yeah.
And he comes to start his new job there, but it's the Monday after everything's just all happened, and obviously everything's changing to a laugh factory. So he kind of gets sent with.
Funny.
Yeah, he's not a comedy person. He broke all of Sully's records. Yes, he broke all of Sully's records apparently.
Top of his class in uni.
Top of his class as a scarer, but unfortunately he gets sent with the I want to say rejects.
Well,
I can't remember the name that they were called, but they're all kind of the people that they're more of like the repairers, the mechanics to like fix the doors and stuff, the engineers. So yeah, we've only watched episode 1 so far, but I can see where they're going with the series.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see these characters again from Monsters Inc. and Billy Crystal and John Goodman back as well. So it's gonna be fun. Like I said, there's 3 episodes available with Disney Plus now, releasing every Wednesday as well. And I think it's a 10-episode series, so
it'll be good. Yeah. Episode 1 that's all watched so far, but I enjoyed it, so looking forward to the next. So yeah, watch your space.
Yeah. So
check it out.
I mean, that's what's kind of new out. What else is coming soon to cinemas? Because we've got quite a big few weeks to come out in the cinema.
The rest of July is quite busy, really. I mean, it's been quite busy recently, up until now, so it's continuing. So looking to the next few weeks, the next big film we've got coming out is M. Night Shyamalan's latest offering, and it's called Old. And from the trailer, classic Shyamalan, basically it looks like these people end up on this island. I think they're shipwrecked or something like that, a boat wrecked. And the trailer shows the young people rapidly aging, and also not only rapidly aging, but one of them even becomes rapidly pregnant. It looks terrifying, you can see the terror in the characters' eyes themselves. The poster's really interesting as well because it shows like a young arm or a young leg, and then like slowly like becoming old, and then like just a skeleton bone. So yeah, you can see where they're going with it. It looks really cool and intriguing, very M. Night Shyamalan. So yeah, I'm a fan, so I'm excited for it. And that's out on the 23rd. Yeah,
23rd of July.
23rd. Oh, and then another trailer I've just written down that Jamie hasn't seen, but they put it on before Supernova. It's called The World to Come. I cannot remember who the cast was now, but it was set in kind of old America, kind of sort of like Old West, maybe gold mining time sort of thing, in the mountains, in the woods, and Casey Affleck's in it as one of the husbands. It's a little bit kind of reverse Brokeback Mountain. That's who's in it, Vanessa Kirby. Both these women are married, and then Vanessa Kirby is the mysterious woman that turns up, and her and the other lady form a romantic relationship. And so it looks very sexy, which is really interesting because obviously the period it's set in and the clothes they're wearing isn't really ever known for being sexy, but obviously the way it's shot and the way the trailer is, it's very sexy indeed. So yeah, should be interesting, different. Yeah. What else have we got? Oh, these are all very girly ones that I don't think you really want to talk about, to be honest.
Well, I will say that the next one, The Last Letter from Your Lover, has got a song by Chaim in there, which I've listened to. So there you go, Chaim.
Yes, they're a good band that Jamie likes a lot. If you've never heard of them, check them out. But yeah, The Last Letter from Your Lover. It's got Felicity Jones in it, and Shailene Woodley, who's obviously from the Divergent series, and can't remember the lad's name, but he's really good as well. So basically, it takes place in 2 different time periods. Shailene Woodley's character and the male actor, they're from something like the 60s, maybe 50s, 60s. early on, and they are kind of lovers. That, you know, she's married to a wealthy guy, and supposedly has this great life, but obviously she really loves this other guy, and they write each other letters, and shows in the trailer. I mean, the trailer basically shows you everything, as they do these days. Shows in the trailer that he's asking her to meet him at the train station, you know, and see where it goes. And in the future, Felicity Jones's character is finding these letters. She's a journalist, and she's working with the guy that like.
Oh yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, you've seen the trailer. The guy that like looks after the letters and makes sure they're all categorized properly and everything. And they seem to form a romantic attachment as well, which they don't allude to in the trailer, but they show a really distant image of two people, and it's definitely them having a smooch. So yeah, basically for me, I would probably be more intrigued by this film if I hadn't at A-level been made to read a book called Possession. And there was also a film of this starring Gwyneth Paltrow and Aaron Eckhart, and it is basically the same story. So basically, someone finds these letters, they're intrigued by this past love story, and they're trying to find out who these past people was, all the while forming their own romantic relationship at the same time.
Letters to Juliet, sorry.
Letters to Juliet's a little bit similar as well. So yeah, well, that's a bit better. So yeah, I mean, it looks like a really nice film, and I probably will watch it. But I've heard it before. I've seen it before.
I was going to say, when you were originally talking about it, I was like kind of going more like Housey. That's kind of more supernatural. Like the seven letters to each other over timelines. But this is letters written in say 1960 and then found in 2000, and it's kind of the stories simultaneously going together.
That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting. I mean, see how it does.
Nice.
But yeah, that is also out before the end of the month.
Yes.
But we do have the big one at the end of the month,
30th of July,
and that is by James Gunn, and it is the
beautifully something line,
the beautiful disgusting line,
something like that.
The beautifully got done. But yes, the Suicide Squad, the reimagined version of Suicide Squad, kind of a reboot of it all. Yes, the Suicide Squad.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I know you are.
We love DC in this house, and I love Margot, and I'm excited about the colourfulness of it all and the craziness of it all. So I think
it definitely looks crazy, and like you said, with DC, you want DC always to do well. The character Peacemaker by John Cena has got his own TV show on HBO Max, which is currently filming. Well, just taking a break, I believe, because he's come back to wrestle for SummerSlam next month. So, yeah, I mean, Suicide Squad at the end of this month, we'll be watching it. Hopefully, I say straight away, we won't be watching it straight away because
we'll be in the Lake District.
We'll be in the Lake District. But we'll be watching it probably the Monday when we get back.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Sunday, depends on how quick we get back.
How quick we get back, yeah.
But yes, by the next episode, we will be reviewing the Suicide Squad as well as our main feature, most likely.
Yeah, totally.
And we do have another film which is coming soon. Which
around the same time. I think it's the same day, actually.
The same day?
Possible.
Okay, so we could be doing a double bill at a cinema. And this one stars Jack Whitehall. It's Jungle Cruise.
Jack Whitehall, I love it. The Blob himself. That's a reference to who was that TV show?
The Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer. When we were convinced that Jack Whitehall was the Blob, and everyone else said it was Lenny Henry. I was like, no, you're all mad. And it wasn't that Lenny Henry, but it could have been Jack Whitehall. It could have been. But anyway, yeah, this Jungle Cruise looks absolutely like woo! It looks like a proper like fun ride. Well, it's based on the ride Jungle Cruise from the original Disneyland. Apparently, I'm told that it's not there anymore, but I think they must be. If it's not, they're doing a revamp of it. So yeah, that it does look fun. It's basically the Mummy story again. So obviously, the Mummy had Brendan Fraser's character, who was the adventurer and knew about the place that had all the mysterious things, and then you had Rachel Weisz's character, who was the proper researcher and wanted to go and explore it, and had her goofy brother Jonathan with her, played by John Hannah, who was the comedy relief. Oh, what is it in this film? You have Dwayne The Rock Johnson as the adventurer and jungle cruise person. Then you have Emily Blunt, who is the researcher and wants to know more about these things, with her goofy comedy relief brother, Jack Whitehall. See where I'm going with this. But it's a formula that works, so I'm excited, and kids will love it. So yeah, it just really looks fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the biggest, probably the biggest family film of the summer.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I said all of his films. Dwayne Johnson has got a really good film career now.
He's great.
Obviously, when Jumanji 1 and 2 came out, they were the biggest films over Christmas. So
Yeah.
I assume this film again, it's released by Disney. It's going to be the film of the summer for the family.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jungle Cruise also comes out towards the end of this month as well.
And leading from that.
From Disney.
Yeah, into.
Yeah.
So based on that, Dwayne has actually gone. Oh, you've got a little picture of it. Nice. Dwayne has actually gone and made a new documentary for Disney Plus, Behind the Attraction, which, even though on Disney Plus we already have loads of amazing documentaries about the parks, which I cannot get enough of. If you haven't watched them, please watch them. They're amazing. I am always eager for another. So yeah, he's gone ahead and made this. Will be because of Jungle Cruise, and he's just talking about all the different rides that are there. You know, all the old originals like Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean, Small World, and all the new ones as well. So that's going to be coming out on the 21st of July. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Look out for that. Disney Plus.
Yes. So that's basically everything that has been out. We've reviewed what's coming soon, the news, the trailers. There's only one last thing really for us to kind of recommend or give special mentions.
Yeah, we want to take a look back, don't we?
So, I mean, when we're talking about, we decided we'll have special mentions this year for some anniversaries. So, the special mentions that we have is a film celebrating its 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And also, I know you probably wanted to properly mention a film that's celebrating its 30th anniversary.
Yes.
But as some of you may have seen online, they have recently just celebrated Legally Blonde has turned 20.
Woo!
Legally Blonde, released in 2001, starring Reese Witherspoon as a sorority girl turned lawyer.
Harvard
law student. Yes, it's a great epic film. Definitely
epic.
Cool classic movie. I love my chick flicks. And like I said, Reese Witherspoon as Elle Woods, that successful. It had a sequel, Legally Blonde 2. It's also had a musical.
Oh,
Legally
so
Blonde the musical as well.
Good fun.
So it's an iconic movie. It definitely deserves its place in there as an iconic film over the last 20 years. I know it's not an iconic kind of number, but Clueless has just celebrated its 26th anniversary.
Yes.
Yesterday as well. So Legally Blonde, congratulations, 20 years, still going strong. Everybody loves it. Everybody should watch the film. It's a great film. Great supporting cast as well with Selma Blair, Ali Larter, Jennifer Coolidge, and I can't remember his name, but he's in Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow? I don't know who's in Legends of Tomorrow, but...
The Professor.
I can't remember his name. Victor Garber. Victor Garber. And you're forgetting my favourite of the Wilson bros.
Luke Wilson.
Your
favourite of the Wilsons?
I love him.
Wow.
I love him so much.
Okay.
I do love him. He's great in The Family Stone, if you've not seen that.
But Legally Blonde is celebrating its 20th anniversary, but 10 years before.
No, I want to talk about Legally Blonde. Give it a minute. Give it all a minute. Jeez. Yeah, it's one of the most classic chick flicks. It's amazing. And I mean, it's one of the most powerful women moments as well for those chick flicks, you know? I mean, she gets ditched by her boyfriend who she thinks she's about to get proposed from, you know, because she's not smart enough for him and he's got to go to Harvard and get a serious girlfriend. And so she shows him exactly how smart she is and what she's worth. And she goes to Harvard herself and does even better than him and then gets herself an even better boyfriend Luke Wilson, and it's amazing. And it just, what a film! And like we said, Jennifer Coolidge is amazing. You've got such iconic moments in it with the bend and snap in the salon. Oh my god! And like
Linda Cardellini as well.
And Linda Cardellini's in it. Oh yeah, she's hilarious. But then for it to inspire like a musical, when a film inspires a musical theatre show, you know it's got something special about it, because someone has looked at that and gone, "That's amazing. How can we make it even more fun and like put music to it?" And you've got those scenes that are so iconic that you can turn it into a song, like the bend and snap. Is he gay or European? The scene in the courtroom, just absolutely fantastic. So, one of the things I love as well, like I remember watching on the special features on the DVD many years ago. I think when I was at uni, that specific colour of blonde, that wasn't just Reese's natural blonde colour. That wasn't just some blonde colour that they put on her. That was like days of like experimenting, and that poor girl going through loads of different shades of blonde, and like her hair must have been damaged for a bit, because they kept trying out different colours to find the exact shade of blonde that they thought was right for Elle. And the thing that we settled, it was kind of like this honey blonde that they settled on that was just perfect for her. And it is, yeah, and it's lovely. And Bruiser, we've got to mention Bruiser, special mention. So yeah, I mean, if you've got to this point and you've not seen Legally Blonde, then what are you doing? Go and watch it. It's fantastic, and share it with all your kids as well, like you have. So.
What, 10 years before?
But 10 years before.
Whoa, Keanu! Didn't even mean to. Whoa.
Keanu Reeves is, for me, second best film and second most iconic, even though everyone talks about Matrix first. And John Wick.
You can't like Bill and Ted is one
Bill
film.
and Ted is his best film.
You can't know it's one film because it's free.
Yeah, but Bogus Journey is okay. But Excellent Adventure is like one of the best films ever. Yeah, Face the Music's great. But we're talking about originals. Bill and Ted is obviously the best film from Keanu Reeves ever. Second best film,
wow.
Point Break. Point Break, man, 30 years? It's crazy.
What about Much Ado About Nothing?
Oh, that's a really nice film as well. No one's seen
That's a really nice film.
It's great. So obviously we've got Keanu and Patrick Swayze. It's Patrick Swayze, isn't it? You just get confused between him and Kurt Russell. They don't really look that much like, and I'm pretty sure Kurt's on the whole.
You have like blonde hair at one point.
No, but Kurt is older. But no, it's Patrick Swayze. Point Break is such a dude film. It's such a great film. No, it's like that actually. For surfing. But yeah, I love a surf film. It's a cop film and a surf film. It's just great. I don't know what was it that came out recently that everyone was like, oh my god, it's like the new Point Break. What did we watch? I can't remember. We'll think on that one. But yeah, if you've not seen it, go and see it. It's absolutely fantastic. 30 years, and it's got other great little smaller actors in it as well, character actors who are really fun. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it other than it's really fun and fantastic.
Yeah, it's directed by Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, the story is that Keanu Reeves is a cop, and they're trying to chase down these bank robbers, and they're trying to figure out who it might be, and they've got a clue that it might be a group of surfers. So he goes undercover, pretending he's learning to surf in the area, trying to stake out which surfers he think it might be, and then he infiltrates the crew and goes undercover and ends up becoming part of it. That was it. Fast and Furious.
I was waiting for you to break.
Yeah, Fast and Furious is basically like Point Break. So it's
but with surfing instead of fast cars.
Yeah. So yeah, if you like Fast and Furious, you might like Point Break and vice versa. So yeah, check it out if you've not seen it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we've got to recommend and rave about. So
yeah, I think that's basically it for this week's episode.
Yeah.
So
check out those things that we've reviewed, and look out for the things that we've said are coming out next month.
Yeah, and like I said, on the next episode in 2 weeks' time, we will hopefully be reviewing Suicide Squad, Jungle Cruise, anything else that comes out, any new trailers, anything you think that we should check out, hit us up on Instagram and Facebook at Cine Lovers Podcast. Make sure to press that like or follow button. And you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple, anywhere you find your podcasts. We appreciate everybody that has listened so far and your support. So thank you very much. I have been Jamie.
Yeah, I'm Mercedes.
She is Mercedes, and we are the Cine Lovers.
Catch you on the flip side. Cine Lovers.